Welcome to another episode of 3rd and 3 with Coach Roger Holmes. I'm Jason Holcomb, joined as always with the coach. And Coach, unfortunately, we're starting off the show today with a bit of sad news. We lost our longtime kicking coach, George Hagler. I know y'all had a very close relationship. Tell me a little bit about your time with Pops and what it's meant to you.
Well, we lost a legend. Something that's never easy to deal with. Pop's had some health issues the last 2 or 3 years, and one of the things that probably kept him going was his desire to get back here, to get back with his football team on a daily basis. But probably no one will ever have an impact on Dublin football like George Hagler has during his 45 years of being a part of this football program, and it's a tremendous loss. I know Pop, he'd be telling us, don't be mourning about me. Go get ready for the game next week. And so we're heartbroken. You know, his funeral service is going to be here in the Shamrock Bowl on Thursday at 11 o'clock. And I can't think of a better place to honor him than right here.
Yeah, I'm so thankful that the family's going to be able to celebrate him in a place that we all know that he loved. It was never out of the ordinary to find him sitting right down there on the bench, waiting for everybody to come out, and usually giving somebody a tip about kicking.
Yeah, well, he gave our young men tips about a lot of things, not just kicking. He never intruded too much, but when he saw something that he knew wasn't the way it needed to be, he'd finally find a way to get that kid off by himself and explain to him about what it means to wear that green and gold. And you know, prayers and thoughts have got to go with Miss Peggy. She's George's love of his life, and you know, Dublin football means a lot to her, but it was because of her deep love for George Hagler also.
Well, we just want to thank the Hagler family for all that they've given to this football program over the years. We want to encourage folks, if you feel so, to come out to the service on Thursday. We're going to be celebrating all the great things that he accomplished, not just on the football field. And I know it has to mean something special to you that one of his pupils is now our current kicking coach. So I know that has to mean a lot to you as well.
Well, it mean a lot to him that somebody that he trained in and taught from the time he was about 10 years old up till now. So Pop's found a way to leave it in good hands.
Yes, and found out, you know, Coach Brown, people don't realize Coach Brown aggravated Coach Hagler when he was a little bitty boy that he wanted to be a Dublin kicker. And Coach Hagler said, not until you're at least 10 years old, I don't want to ruin your leg. And obviously he didn't ruin it if he ended up at Georgia State. But Coach, moving on to this week, we had a great game. A decent crowd out there with Treutlen. Got off to a little bit of a slow start, but then picked up in the second quarter and in the third quarter. Tell us a little bit about what we did against the Vikings.
We played a lot better than we actually did at Wilcox. Now, Wilcox was a better football team, but you know, our biggest concern was we didn't execute very well at all when we went and played at Wilcox, and our guys, the execution in the backfield was tremendous. Clay Ashley ran for about 190 yards, which was a phenomenal night. Defensively, we played the game. We played it pretty well. The real fact of the matter was there was just no excitement.
Yes.
There was no excitement in the stands. There was no excitement on the field. But that's okay, because hopefully we saved all that excitement for what's coming this week, and we know what that is, and we'll talk about that shortly.
We want to thank everybody who did come out. It was a little bit cool, kind of like how it is right now. I'm not going to complain. They said this is hitting weather, so I'm all about that. I just don't want to be the one getting hit. We want to take a chance to celebrate our Optum Player of the Week, though, so let's go ahead and check that out. All right, Coach, last year people teased us about our passing game. This year we've made some significant improvements, and last week was no different. Some big touchdown passes that seemed to change the momentum of the game. I know that had to mean a lot to you.
Well, Markel has responded extremely well, especially last week. He was one of those young men that wasn't carrying out fakes, wasn't doing what we need our quarterback to do, because carrying out those fakes and doing those things are what open up those play action passes. And he took it to heart. He graded out much better than he's been grading out in the last 2 or 3 weeks, because there's more to being a quarterback than just throwing a pass every once in a while to somebody. Markel had 2 touchdown passes. I think that's 7 in the last 3 games.
Wow.
And our receivers are starting to get more confidence. Our offensive line is doing a better job of protecting him. But I just think with the strides he made and answering the bell to the things that we told him we were expecting out of him, he did a great job with that. Could have gone to several people, like we said. Clay Ashley ran for 190 yards, and I just think Markel's body of work over the last 3 to 4 weeks makes him deserving of this Player of the Week honor.
Couldn't have picked a nicer guy either. He's such a fine young man. I love to see him on the sidelines. He always speaks and says hello, which I love to see people being able to still relax while they're in the heat of battle. So congratulations, Markel. But we don't have a lot of time to rest, but first we need to go see what Lucky's up to. Let's see what he's up to after Coach White teased him so hard. Lucky, there you are. Man, am I in a hurry. Lucky, Coach Brown ain't gonna be here this week, so I'm supposed to try to help out with you, okay? You don't got nothing to say? I mean, what? Come on. Any day now. Lucky, this is getting old. You always got something to say. Why ain't you saying nothing? Lucky, I ain't got all day for this now. I got to hurry up and get done. I got other things I got to do. I'm just trying to help Coach Brown out this week. Come on now. Will you please say something?
Oh, Jason, what are you doing?
Coach, I'm trying to help Barry out. Lucky just ain't cooperating one bit. Ain't said a word.
Say what the problem is Lucky keeps talking bad about my balls, even when y'all aren't around. So I got tired of it. Lucky don't have his battery. I took his battery away from him.
Oh, Lord. Well, Coach, I guess next time whenever I go to try to interact with Lucky, got to make sure that he's plugged in, because, you know, I wasn't expecting that. You know, I was trying to be helpful. I know Coach Brown's been working real hard, getting everything ready for our in-person instruction return for next week, but I guess I just got to check for the batteries.
Well, you know, Lucky works all the time, so every once in a while he needs a rest. And, you know, Lucky is quite a character, and now Coach White's kind of let him know where he stands. If Lucky keeps picking on my balls, I don't know how we're going to handle it.
Yeah, because I don't know that you're going to be putting on a costume. You might just be handing somebody their walking papers and asking for Turf Tank to get you another robot. So we just want to make sure that Lucky tries to clean all that up. We'll have to see what happens next week. But, Coach, this week we've got a true test. You know, this is the home stretch for the regular season. If we don't take care of business these next couple weeks, it could have a big determination on where we seat as far as playoffs are concerned. And we all know that Johnson County, their tradition is solid, their coaching is great. They always have a few athletes that are going to be fantastic, and we all know Coach Norton is always looking for some bulletin board material, so we ain't going to give it to you this week, Coach. But tell me, Coach, what are the things that the Irish have to do this week to secure a win over in Wrightsville?
Well, we've got to go play good, solid football, because Johnson County, from top to bottom, is a tremendously well-rounded football team. Their backfield, they kind of run in the Georgia Southern, Georgia Tech triple option stuff, and it always starts with the quarterback, and they have exactly that. Extremely quick, elusive young man playing quarterback. You can't do it without the fullback. Well, their fullbacks already ran for over 1,000 yards.
Wow.
And then you've got the 2 halfback positions. Those kids run the jet sweep and the speed sweep, and their offensive line getting out on those things does it as well as anybody. You know, it's something we rely on, and I've told our guys, hey, they're doing it better than we are. Wow. Their execution and their timing is phenomenal. So defensively, not only you have to be able to handle the internal run game with the fullback and the quarterback on midline and veer, you've got to be able to defend the flank with the speed sweep and the rocket sweep. Now they come out and they throw the football. They don't do it a lot. They're kind of like a wing T team and like a Georgia Tech team. They're not going to throw it a lot, but when they do, they've been very effective. Their quarterback puts the ball to the open guy. He reminds me a lot of Richard Smith when Richard played. Ooh. In the sense that he's kind of a point guard. He has vision, and he can find an open receiver. So it'll be a tough night for us defensively defending them. On the offensive side of the football, obviously for us, again, it goes back to our execution. And we anticipate them jumping their defenses around quite a bit, lining up in 2 or 3 different looks. Going back as far as 2017, the last time we played them, watching film of that game, and a lot of the things still appear to be the same. And so we're having to prepare for a lot.
I can imagine, and you know, people who aren't familiar with Johnson County, because everybody just wants to assume Herschel Walker, this school has always produced athletes. You know, I remember even in '05 when we had a quality football team, their football team made it to the Final Four. You know, they made it to the Dome that year, and you see athletes every year coming out. So we need y'all to come out and support these Irish. Friday night, 7:30. Lovett Field, Herschel Walker Stadium, whatever you want to call it. It's easy to find. It's right up the road, up 319. You can't help but run into it. Want to make sure if you can't make it to the game, NFHS is where you will find us. Love for you guys to subscribe. The cool thing about it is once you subscribe, you get to watch the games afterward too, so you can watch them as many times as you want. I know, Coach, you've said that a lot of people have been complimenting about that, and we want to thank Mr. Ellenberg and Mr. Crabb and the team there for doing that. And also want to say, if you can't catch us there, 101.3, you can catch us with Coach Strick and Todd Gay. They, like I said, they're high energy. Just be ready. You think I'm being high energy right now? Coach Strick brings it. It's kind of like West Durham with a bunch of those energy drinks.
I hear you.
But Coach, I know for you, having that kind of support wherever it comes from has to mean a lot to you and to the guys.
Well, I think it definitely is part of having a complete program. Parents enjoy it, players enjoy it. I remember when I was a high school football player, they used to replay the games on Saturday morning from the radio. And all of the players would always turn the radio on Saturday morning to hear the call of the game. So that was always pretty neat. And so we do appreciate what everybody does, and all the way down to 3rd and 3 with you, Jason, to what the Courier Herald does in covering the games. Tremendous amount of support for high school football in this middle Georgia area.
We're hoping that support will translate into a victory, but before we call it a day, Coach, as always, we must ask you a question. All right, Coach, it's Georgia, Florida week, which means it's I don't care week for Coach Holmes. I'm sure it really don't mean a whole hill of beans. They're just going to see who whoops up on who and which one of your friends you get to tease more. I'm sure that'll be all exciting on Saturday evening. But this week I tried to come up with as close to Georgia, Florida as I could. There's not a lot of mustaches down in Florida, so I had to kind of stretch. So today's matchup, we're going to have a classic mustache is Herschel Walker. Obviously Herschel's got that. He's shaved it off, I think, since, but this is a classic stash for Herschel. And then he's going to be paired up against the closest Florida mustache I could find, Miami Dolphins legend Larry Zonka. Now, who you got this week, Coach?
Well, you put me in a tough spot because I really like Larry Zonka, but I don't want to give anybody over in Johnson County any reason to have any more desire to kick our hind end. And I don't want to hurt the Bulldog fans, so I'm going with Herschel.
Herschel Walker it is, y'all. That's our mustache matchup. Again, make sure to check us out this week. If you're not able to get down to Wrightsville to check out the game, go to NFHS or 101.3. We're here every Tuesday, and hopefully we can get Lucky's battery in him, so next week we can see what kind of shenanigans he can get into. But as always, this has been 3rd and 3 with Coach Roger Holmes.